Which I gotta tell you, it doesn't sound like a lot of money. That is a fucking shitload of money. to us, that is an amazing quantity. Jim Defede is introducing himself here. And I want to just add that the only person who got any money out of this book, besides paying for the publication of the book, is this guy. We actually cut Jim Defede a check for this book.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, because we do direct deposit now. And we didn't even notice that it was there, and we spent it on beer, and that's fine. That is what they call fake news. Because I also want to point out that part of that $50,000, I want to say, like, I don't know, 49,000 of it or so went to actually getting the book printed.
And it was weird, and we'll get into more of it, and I'll let Billy and Alfred start talking, because it was this thing where they liked me, Willie and Sal. Like, I'm the only reporter who has ever interviewed Sal. Sal called me up one day from prison. Hey, Joe, I really like that story. Oh, really? Okay. I'm glad he liked it, because he was accused of, like, maybe ordering a lot of murders. And at the same time I had Sal telling me that he liked my stories, I had the undercover FBI agent who helped bring them down call me and say, hey, I really like your story. I'd like to do an interview with you at some point. And that's what ended up happening. And so it's just, I love this town because it's the vision to understand long-form storytelling and to be able to write that.
I'm a straight man. Yeah. Someone's already cursed, someone's already used Yiddish. All my shit has been done. So Alfred often tells people that we have to talk about the best inspirations and the sources of our Miami worldview. It would be probably, well, certainly Carl Hyacin and his columns for the Herald. It would be Neil Rogers on WIOD, and it was the Miami New Times in the 1990s. And it approached the news, as Jim pointed out, with an attitude and a deep dive that we could not get from our daily paper. And getting to know Jim through the years has been extraordinary, because I know him as the byline on the cover of the Miami New Times, and of course I'm profoundly envious of him. Having never had the privilege of being fired by the Miami Herald, which has always been on my bucket list. Really never getting hired by the Herald, so that I couldn't get fired by the Herald. But although not getting hired by the Herald is also on my bucket list. So
one of my favorite moments from the Willie and Sal case, I'll just jump in here. Thank you, Tom. There was, it was weird at times covering Willie and Sal, because there was a moment where, so I wrote I don't even know if I got the cover right. I wrote, when you have to understand, we sort of glossed over Billy talked about how they were acquitted. When they were acquitted, you have to understand, the government accused them of smuggling 75 tons of cocaine into the United States. And the government never loses cases like this. Never. And so I'm writing the story, and I wrote halfway through the trial, I went, oh, this trial isn't going well. This is, because what the government has usually in these cases is overwhelming resources. They have limitless, the U.S. Attorney's Office and the Justice Department, limitless lawyers. They have the FBI, the DEA, limitless investigators. Willie and Sal beat them because they had more of those things. They also bribed some jurors, but we'll get to that in a second. And then when it was my turn, all right, number 23, stand up. And when I stood up, the prosecutor and the judge said, I'll take this one. New baby prosecutor. This is nothing work. These are babies. He has no idea. And the prosecutor seemed stunned. It's the first time the judge has said a word the entire day. And he goes, I'll take this one. And he goes, Mr. Defede, go ahead, tell everyone your name. My name is Jim Defede. And I said, and what do you do for a living? I'm an investigative reporter. And what do you specialize in? Public corruption. And he says, and he turns to the prosecutor, I think we can excuse Mr. Defede. To which I respond, no, sir, no. I have been dying for the idea of having subpoena power. You can take a grand jury anywhere. Like I could have been the foreman of the grand jury. I think we need to subpoena this person and bring them in and just hijack the process. And he says, I'm willing to do my civic duty, Your Honor. And he's like, no. I think it's best because of the secrecy of the grand jury process. I'm afraid that you'd be tempted to leak, and I would hate to have to send you to prison. You are excused, sir. And everyone in the room is looking.
Greg Baker.
Oh, Greg Baker,
Right.
first staff writer at Miami New Times.
Oh, man, wait, he said Flood's there. I didn't see Flood there.
Yeah, Flood's
Ah,
here.
yeah.
Flood's here.
So, and Greg, well, he would go and
Irene
serve.
here.
It was back. Was on South Beach, and then I only came to New Times when they moved to the building near the old Everglades Hotel in Biscayne. The best. I regret not having been there when they had the offices above Tobacco Road. That was the best.
All right, that's it. We're done.